Um, yeah, all these books are not mine, so don't think I'm a scholar or anything. Yeah, they're not mine. They belong to the person I'm staying with. Great guy. It's helped me a lot. Yeah. So, yeah. I just saw this spot and I was like, it'd be nice to record here. It looks just, I don't know, it's very comfortable. When I have money, I'll get one of those. Just sit down, crouching and talk and shit like that. Yeah. So I just thought, I was just thinking about, being raised in an African home and just basically like, African, let's say, expectation of African parents. I don't know, it just came to my mind. I was just thinking about it and how they are really high, And it's not like, I'm not saying, again, this is not a video to condemn it, This is just me thinking about it and just what they are and the dynamics of the whole thing. And it's crazy because, it's like, first of all, they are really high. Yeah, if you grew up or are currently growing up in an African home, they expect you to be the best, especially at education. They expect you, like, and especially because they will give you anything, a kidney to one liver, maybe even their soul, perhaps, just to ensure that you get the best education possible. It's crazy how much they believe, that can help you. And some of it is ego, trust me. Some of it is I want to be able to wear gele to my child's induction, that kind of thing. I wanted to be able to call me mommy doctor or daddy lawyer, something like that. Some of it is prestige and pride and everything, but a lot of it is like, it's investment, I guess. Because first of all, you have this child that you're responsible for, and it's like, that's one thing I love about African parents, at least most African parents, is they take that responsibility of providing for their home serious. It's not like a passive thing. It's like, this is what I live for. This is why I get up every day and grind out at work so that I can come back home and provide for these ones, and that's crazy, that's crazy dedication, especially in the kind of world we live in that is not so functional and not so what's it called, given to responsibility, and they take that seriously. And people say it's like an investment, and it is an investment. Of course it is. You give all your life, many of them let go of dreams and things they would have loved to do, houses they would have wanted to build, or something they would just have wanted to do, and then just to send their children to the best schools and whatnot. And they give up all this and they want something, of course. And it's not like they want your money, because they have built careers for themselves, and probably by the time you're already making your own money, they would have grown old and probably don't have much need for it. But it's more like they kind of want their investments to yield. Basically, it's like you draw something or you're making a painting. You might not want to sell the painting, but of course you want it to look good at the end, right? You want it to come out well, especially since you're putting that much effort into it. And so I guess that's why the expectations are so high, because you're putting so much, and and so they want that so much to come up with something, and it's a wonderful thing. A lot of it is love, and if you see, African parents, and that's the thing about their generation, they always think they're doing so much better than their parents. They always think so. And so that's the thing. It's like, if you understand that their standards were so low, and it's not just about having a present father or no. It's like yes, many of them grew up in polygamous families, so it's like the father was basically like an administrator, you understand? Someone who just provided, I guess. And you saw his face, like you'll be seeing the president of a company once in a while, and you greeted him and everything. You just and then your mothers were, I mean, those were the ones that were probably close to many of them. But even at that, it was more of the I don't want to fail kind of project. So I mean, they have little to work with. So in their mind, when they're asking you about this and they're just trying to be good, they are trying. And it's hard to be 40 and learn something new. So I mean, parents have that, and they, especially African parents. So I guess that kind of boils into because their life is okay, they're going in this direction, and it kind of, at the end of the day, they feel the success or the hopes of everything, the meaning of what they've done on earth, kind of culminates in how their children turn out, and that's why they have so much. So let me just share my personal experience. So let me say, for instance, when I was going to school, I decided on what to pick to study in school. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And most people, I guess, like, I didn't know. I mean, I liked hanging around computers, but I wasn't sure whether it was gaming I liked or the actual working on a computer and engineering stuff. And I worked on some child experiments. You create a toy, you play around with rotors and all that kind of thing. But I don't think I was that, I just took on challenges. I just, okay, what do I need to do now? I need to do well in my upcoming SS2 exams. That's how big my mind really went. I wasn't one of those people that read. I mean, I read Gifted Hands. I think there was one other book Ben Carson wrote that I think I liked better than Gifted Hands. I don't remember the name anymore. I kind of read through both of them and I liked the book, but I didn't do it and read it and it was like, medicine. There was just not that one thing for me. I mean, some people say, oh, someone saved my life, this and that. I just think the closest thing I had to something like that was, just this inner urge to make people smile, people around me. I always love it when I can make someone smile. I don't know why. Like, if I'm talking to you, I am waiting for that smile. It's like, okay, everything I'm saying, everything I'm doing, it's just so that I can smile. It's crazy. Yeah, so it's weird, kind of. It's really weird. So I don't know. I just wanted to do something that helped people. And then, my parents, especially my mom, was like, hey, do medicine. And she was always like, are you sure you want to do it? I hope I'm not forcing. And I'm like, bro, I don't know what I want to do. So I mean, you've been in the game longer than I have, so if you think medicine is good, okay, sure. I mean, what the hell? So I just went for it, and yeah, so far it's been crazy. It's been crazy, but then it's like I've learned a lot. I've met new people. I've just, through it, I've learned a lot about myself, and I've learned how to move through life. How a lot of our process is about growth, and I'll probably talk about that some other time. I mean, I just had this massive revelation of it over the past couple of years, and just understanding that. And yeah, so like, I mean, that's as found out for us so far. So I mean, yeah, she and of course, massive expectations. I mean, she was always like, I'm not forcing you to do this, but then I'm like, yeah, bro, just feel the jam for me. I don't know what I want to do. That basically was that. And yeah, expectations. And so, like, what about that child that doesn't make it into medicine? What about when you make it into medicine and you find out you don't like it? What then? How then do African parents react? And that's where things get kind of dicey, because at the end of the day, like I said, it is love, yes, but it's also an investment, and of course it is an investment. I mean, if it's not an investment, that means you're probably not taking it seriously. So it's like, how do you handle that, So it's like, I mean, at some point you have to take responsibility, and that's one thing I noticed, like in all parents in general, not just African parents. Like, at some point you have to take responsibility for your life, right? So you have to be in charge. You have to take on something. They won't be the ones always presenting you with opportunities. Oh, you have to take this exam. When are you doing this video? Like, you have to be the one. Okay, this is what I want to do. I need your help. And of course, most times to them that means education. I mean, we live in a generation where everybody wants to make money fast, and that's another thing. There are many ways of making money, many ways that don't have anything to do with purpose. Like, you could just sit down in your house and do a few things, and totally legal ways, some illegal very commonly, but totally legal ways where you can just make money from the comfort of your bed, and it has nothing to do with passion or purpose or anything like that. You get, but it's always nice to have one where you have purpose, passion, and everything, kind of working in sync. But at the end of the day, like, what do you do when it doesn't work out? And this is not like an advice, but I'm just thinking through what that kind of scenario really would look like and how best it could pan out. And it's like I said, you have to take responsibility. So you have to, take on something and then be good at it. So, I mean, the common example is maybe someone wants to become a musician, and because a lot of all people want to become is based on entertainment. It's like, oh, I see a lot of this. Of course, you're exposed to a lot of this, and you eventually want to become something. But if you're talking, to be honest with you, something more realistic, something you actually like, not just by influence of repetition, but by a natural gifting towards, or a natural direction. So I mean, this is a crazy thing, and you might not have anything, and it's fine if you don't have anything, but just pick something. That's the thing. That's the wonderful thing. People always go like, oh, find your passion, find your, I mean, purpose is a bigger deal, on the God scale and everything. But I'm talking about in terms of like career paths and what you do with your life in terms of making money. It's like people always like, find your passion, find what you are good at. It's like, nah. I mean, many people are just going around things. I mean, you have a few skills, maybe you can design, but you don't think you're really good at it. Maybe you took 1-3 classes, and it's been 2 months since you designed anything, or you just don't have that something you do every day. And it's like, of course you don't, because you've not picked something. It's not just a fine. People make it think, it's just one day you wake up and you see something happen, or a moment. Nah. Most times, I don't know, some people it does. For me, I never had that, and I don't think I've met people that have had that anyway. I mean, most times I ask people, why did you pick medicine? And I mean, some people give me a bullshit answer, because it's a bullshit answer when you have a lot of M's. But then some people just go like, bro, I don't know, I'm just here. And that's the thing, you just pick something and be good at it. It doesn't matter what it is. Let it be legal, yes. But like, you pick something, you pick, okay, content creation, because that's what's popping, or makeup. And that's one thing that attracts me, in the opposite. Like, when someone takes on responsibility, I love it. I don't know, it's like something not just opposite. Like in my friendships, in my relationships, it's something that's always attracted me to people. When someone picks something and like, I want to be very good at this thing, I want to be able to, not just be the best in the competitive, but like continually grow to an exceedingly amazing, level in this thing. And that thing, that inspires me. So I like say like, bro, let's pick one thing, even if it's bodybuilding. It's like, okay, I'm going to be really good at this thing, and then give it your all, come up with plans. And yes, they favor education most times, but it's like, if it's not education and you pick, the thing is, even without, I mean, first of all, they provide a roof over your head, they provide food, they provide clothing. So you don't have to worry about most of those things, especially in the ages between, let's say, 15 or 14, when you become really exposed to many things on the internet. I guess, I don't know, that age probably goes down like 5 more years now, but let's just say 14, between 14 and maybe 22, 23. I mean, ASU strike, there or not, but let's just say 25 to be safe. Between those ages, I mean, you have the comfort of living without having to take care of your food, of your feeding, of your clothing, and of your housing, at least to a large degree. I mean, you might want some things but cannot afford them, and that's when you begin to work towards those things. And because those things are off your back, I mean, some of you even have internet provision, which is wonderful. So you have all these resources, and you have this world that is very, so it's like you pick one thing. Even with this ASU strike, you just pick one thing. Okay, this thing, I'm going to be good at it, and then you begin to work on it, and you work on it. And I'm not saying this, like I said, it's not advice. I'm just thinking through how best you can work on that situation. So you pick that one thing and you work on it, and you become really good at it, and that's the thing. When you're really good at something, you will like it. There's no all this bullshit about people having a gift and not liking it. It's primary school nonsense. If you're good at something, you would like it, because you like when you do something and the result is good. So if I can draw, and I do it a lot, I mean, it's different when you have the ability and you don't really use it, but if you are at that level where you are really good, that means you probably use it enough to be that good, so if you are at that level, you would like it. I mean, so if it's graphic design, at the end of the day, everybody derives satisfaction when they put effort into something and they produce is good. Even if it's something bad, stealing or something, if you have a plan to steal something and you manage to do it and get away with it, you feel good because you've yielded products. So whatever it is, you just pick something and you make the commitment to be good at it. And I think that's the first step.